Hey everybody, my name is Quicken and today I am going to be upcycling anime t-shirts into kind of just some fun summer clothes. So a little while ago I went to my local Uniqlo, and if you're unaware of the store Uniqlo, it's one of my favorite stores and they have a ton of graphic t-shirts and they do a ton of anime collabs. So I check in on Uniqlo pretty often. I would say most of my holy grail anime t-shirts come from Uniqlo. I think that they're generally unique and I love the way they're styled, and Uniqlo gets a ton of licensing for things I really like. I have been wanting to make masks and different things like that in anime fabric, but I was having such a hard time finding licensed anime fabric to buy by the yard. So I went to Uniqlo and I checked out their clearance section. So Uniqlo clearance can really get super cheap. So it's always good to check in. A lot of their stuff can kind of sell out pretty quickly. I was really surprised that I could get these Eva t-shirts. This says $7.90. So today I am hoping to make some cute cropped shirts. I'm really into cropped right now. Just one day I woke up and I was like, hot girl summer. And then I'm going to try and make a pair of shorts. I've been having the hardest time finding shorts I like and graphic shorts, like anime print shorts. I think that they're a little hard to come by. I'll show you what I got. I have this Gundam shirt from Uniqlo's Gundam collab, and this shirt was $3.90. So really affordable, really hard to pass up. This is in a size small, but you can see it's really boxy. And this is for the 40th anniversary of Gunpla. So I really want to make a pair of patchwork shorts with these. I'm really excited. I've really been getting into Gunpla. So when I saw these here, fabric, sewing machine, DIY, shorts for a big butt, finally. Next, I have these two Evangelion shirts, and these were from the Uniqlo Evangelion collab. I am beating myself up because I bought a ton of the shirts from this collab full price when it first came out, and then I found them at Uniqlo in the basement for $7.90. So I have this one that has all three, and then here is Eva Unit 1, and it says Lost All Control, and I think it's really cool because it has a entry plug. Right there is the tag. So hang out with me today and let's do it. We are starting with the shorts. Grab yourself a pair of shorts that you can trace on some construction paper. That is going to be our pattern. You can see I am shaking these shorts out so I can get all of the details because you want everything to stand out and be easy to trace onto our t-shirt fabric. Right here I have denim shorts, but later I regret not using a softer fabric like bike shorts, so just keep that in mind. Your finished product will look and feel like the thing you're tracing. Next, we need to create some seam allowance for the waistband. I'm using a fabric ruler so I can test the fold over ability, and I decided to give myself 4 inches. Decide how much length and fabric you want to fit yourself. This was with my preferences in mind, but if you like the way it turned out, this is exactly how I did it. Then I gave myself 1 inch seam allowance around the rest of the shorts. Next, you want to put your pattern over top of your image of your t-shirt and just see where the graphic underneath is going to lay. And don't forget to flip it around for the other side of the pant leg. Next, I just pinned my template in place. Next, give it a good snip. And you can see my design is on a pretty good central part. Next, like I said, flip your pattern over so it is the other side in order to get the other pant leg, short leg, and then cut it out. There, the design is perfectly centered, looks good. Next, matching both of the wrong sides together, I am sewing together the back of the shorts, the butt. I referenced my main pair of shorts pretty frequently, so it's good to keep them on hand. For me, it was just really visual. Next, I pinned them together, right sides together, so wrong sides out, and I sewed them in place. This is the back of the shorts sewn together, and I just put them on the template just to give myself a visual. Now it's time to sew the front part of the shorts together with my designs intact. I'm still a beginner at sewing, so visuals help me out a lot. Keep your template around, keep your shorts around, turn your shorts inside out and look at where they're sewn together. This helped me a lot. Next, with the front of my shorts finished, I just pinned the front and the back together and sewed them in place. Okay, these are really starting to look like something. Here's the back. I was worried about not getting it like perfectly straight, but seems like I did. So now all I need to do is create a waistband and create the bottom hem. And right now the shorts aren't closed. I have this big spool of elastic and it's super stretchy, really soft elastic. I feel like it's probably for like bras and underwear, like intimates. It's really, really nice. I got this at a flea market, so I'm just going to So if it doesn't mess up your design on your front, in this case by Gunpla, I recommend cutting a straight line across. See where I have my collar? It makes it so it's not straight. Later, I sew on a piece of fabric in a crescent moon shape to fill in the lost fabric of the collar, if that makes sense. This is where you would cut a straight line across if it didn't mess up the pattern on the front. For me, the yellow pattern, the Gunpla is right at the tippy top, so it messes me up. Right here, I am folding over just to create a waistband. The iron keeps everything in place so I can kind of visualize where it's going to be. And then sewed basically a mock waistband. I sewed a pin into the shorts. So this is what it looks like so far. I have pulled the elastic all the way out and safety pinned it where it feels okay. It needs to be like zhuzhed all the way around. Right here, I stitched the fabric must have been folded and it caught like one stitch here. The back looks good. It falls right at the butt crack. That's ideal. Remember that crescent moon thing that you didn't know what I was talking about? Well, here's the visual. Right here, I took the absence of fabric where the collar is, and I just created a little piece of fabric out of some scrap t-shirt that was left over, and sewed that on in order to have a straight across piece of fabric to work with. That way I could create an even waistband. This made everything so much easier, so if you run into this problem, I recommend trying to fix it this way. That way, my designs were exactly where I wanted them on the shorts, and I didn't have to compromise by cutting the shorts a little shorter. Then I was able to make the waistband so much easier by being able to easily fold over the fabric twice and then sew it closed. Then I pulled the elastic through the waistband casing using a safety pin. With that method, easily I was able to take my measurements and then sew the elastic closed on both sides. Okay, I have them on. I'm digging them. I'm digging the high-waisted. I think everything came out pretty good. I have shorts on underneath this, but the butt is a little bit like a lot of fabric in the butt, the whole wad. I overestimated my own butt. That can be fixed kind of easy, but one thing I want to do is throw these in the washing machine I have mangled and handled them so much that I think a nice little wash will refresh them. I don't think it'll completely cure, like, but I think I can go in and just tighten up this seam back here, and that's pretty easy. Like, that already looks pretty good. Right here is like a little gather I messed up. This is really comfortable. Sometimes if I wear something high-waisted for a long time, I get a stomach ache, and these are really cool. I think everything else is cool except, yeah, the fabric is just really loose. Like, if you wore the same shirt like 2 days in a row, the next day it will be kind of looser. You can see where the old stitching was. So I think the washing machine will also kind of clean that up a little bit. You see what I'm talking about, how it's gathered right there? If I fix it, I don't know if it would be more noticeable than this. So I think after the wash we'll see. But these are really cool. If I was like more masculine, I think these would be done, but I do think I need to fix the butt. Okay, so here is my next shirt. I am not in hair and makeup like I was just a moment ago because these shorts took a whole day. This shirt we are just going to crop and then give a lettuce hem. A lettuce hem is super trendy right now. It's that like wiggly hem at the bottom, and it's relatively easy to do with a little practice. So with some of my scrap fabric, I have been messing around with the settings on my
sewing
computer.
Machine.
It's really easy to look up tutorial for a lettuce hem, but my advice is to get a piece of scrap fabric and just run it through your machine on a bunch of different settings, because if you have a machine like mine, a beginner sewing machine, there's just some things you can adjust. So I would just go through your settings with a scrap fabric and see what you can do. A few different zigzag stitches. I got a result like this, which is like, okay. And then I tried a tighter zigzag stitch on a longer stitch length, and I kind of like the lettucey factor of this. You can kind of see how it gets wavy like that. So try your different settings. I don't want to say that my settings will work for you. They probably won't unless you bought the same exact machine as me. So this is what I am working with here. So I'm going to crop this and give it a lettuce hem, and that should be cool. I would like to preserve little pod here that they have as a tag. So when we crop this, we're going to seam rip this out, and hopefully we'll be able to just add it up here when we reach our final length. So cropping your shirt is easy. I use scissors instead of a rotary tool, but you can use whatever. It is getting out this little entry plug that might challenge you. This is a very specific problem, but you can also learn how to install your own side tags using this method, so give it a watch. So I used a seam ripper to just open up the inside of the shirt so I could access this little tag. Once I got in there, I just removed the tag from the shirt completely. I cleaned up the little tag, and that's how you get it out of the shirt. So I actually explained myself here, but the goth music in the background is so loud, I should know better. So basically you want the hem of the shirt, the bottom of the shirt, to roll over the tiniest little bit. And when you sew, you want the stitch to fall over the edge of the shirt. While you're sewing, you also want to pull the shirt tight. Pulling the shirt is what is going to create that little curling effect that is the lettuce of the hem.
Lettuce.
I was really impressed with how this turned out. I loved it so much, and it was really so easy. I know I don't give great directions here, but it was super easy with a little bit of practice. Next, let's install our tag on our newly cropped shirt, and same method here. I am just turning the shirt inside out and removing some of the side seam to create a little hole. Once I have that little hole, stick the tag in. Remember, our shirt is inside out, so you want to check the front if the tag is looking good, where you want it, and then just sew it closed again. I had to sew it like 1 or 2 passes just to make sure it was in there, but it looked good. Looked really good. As for this shirt, at first my idea was to like make it almost into like a sports bra. And then I walked past this model downtown wearing this Nike outfit, and I really love the way there is just an elasticated, like a waistband, elastic waistband right through the bottom. So I think what I want to do, crop this, leave a little bit of length, put in an elastic. I'm feeling a lot more confident after finishing my last shirt. I should have started with the easiest instead of started with the hardest, but I love how this turned out. So I rescued another entry plug from the bottom of this shirt and then cropped the bottom. Next, laying out my elastic on the bottom of the shirt, I visualize the hem, the seam, and then I iron it in place. This is super helpful if you are visual like me. This helps me understand just where the elastic is going to go. After I created that fold, I pinned it in place and sewed the shirt up. And this is where our elastic band is going to live, so it has a tiny bit more allowance than just the length of the band. You're going to put a safety pin on the end of your elastic and feed it through the casing inch by inch until the elastic comes out the other end. Okay, this is it with the elastic. That looks really cute. That really came out well. So I haven't sealed the elastic yet. I have it safety pinned together to see how much slack I want, if I want it a little looser or not. That's kind of it. That's fun. Join the two ends of the elastic together and sew them. It helps to use your presser foot to keep them in place. They're kind of stretchy, if you couldn't guess. And then I stuck my little entry plug tag in and sewed that in place. Oh, hello. It is the next day and I have washed our goodies. We are almost at the finish line. We just have to finish the shorts. This is the shorts inside out. I told you they gave me a poopy diaper. So I have gone in and just adjusted the back seam, and I did that by folding the seam. I folded it and then added a tighter stitch. So you can really see here the 3 stitches. Every time, so this was my original line, and every time I just sewed an even tighter line in there. So now I just have to cut out the extra fabric. And basically what I will do is the green is our original seam that we created. So I'll cut the green seam out and we'll just have the white. So just to recap, we took the back seam, sewed a parallel line next to our original seam, and when we cut that out, it's just this little strip. Now the back should be a little tighter. It's gonna seem super annoying, but I'm gonna do it. I know I've modified these shirts 100 times. What I'm gonna do, I think, is just cut a little bit from the legs and just sew them back up. That will either ruin the shorts or make them 100% better. Basically, I'm just going to cut the slack out of the original crotch of the shorts and bring them up a little higher so they will sit more form-fitted. Kind of like the crotch of bike shorts, which I mentioned earlier, I should have traced all along. Okay, the crotch is cut out, and now I just need to fold these inside out and sew, and this will give us a new crotchy. Okay, this is us all pinned up. This time I am using the appropriate zigzag stitch. I played around with this dotted line zigzag stitch before I did my lettuce hem. So this one is actually probably the one I should have been using this whole time. Oh yeah, that looks way more like clothes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, do take the extra second to let me know in the comments. I have a bunch of thrift flips and different things like that that I really want to do, and this was super fun. If you would like to see a part 2 to this video, I am at Uniqlo's clearance section all of the time, and I love the idea of taking, you know, different size clearance shirts that might not work as a shirt and transforming them into something else. I think version 2 of these shorts is only going to get better. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you create any of these items, do let me know. Tag me on Instagram. It makes it all worth it in the end. And thank you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. And until next time, thank you. Bye.